Okay, so this was going to be a little bit of a weird video because I forgot my GoPro in my garage. So I'm actually at my sister's house and we're going to buff the headlights real quick on this. And let's see what this looks like real quick. And we're going to get into it. Super easy, super quick, and it will make your car look 10 years newer. So here's how they look now, and yes, the hood is popped. And this is a 2005 car, so you can see the glazing and how dull it looks. And we've got some pretty bad oxidation right here. So there's a couple ways to go about this, and the first way, they actually make a kit. Turtle Wax makes a kit, Mothers makes a kit, 3M makes a kit. There's a whole bunch of kits out there, but I kind of use a combination of all of them, which is, other than our rags here, they don't need to be on the ground. Show you what we got going on here. Alright, so what we're going to do for the really bad oxidation here is we're actually going to wet sand with some 2000 grit, and we're going to do it very lightly along the headlight just to take off the worst of that. And then once that's really good, what we are going to use is rubbing compound. If you don't get the 3M, Turtle Wax makes one as well. Rubbing compound. It is an abrasive cream that we're going to actually knead into the headlight, and it's going to clean off the rest of it. Then we're going to wipe that down really, really good, and we're going to use this. And this is a cleaner all on its own that should be able to be used on its own to fix this, but we are going to do a more permanent solution and make sure they are super clear and crystal clear, and then put this on the very end as our final, this needs to look good. And there's a lot of people that actually spray paint clear coat over them and lacquer over the lens to UV protect it, but this is supposed to have UV protectant in it, which is why we're going to stop with that. So let's get to wet sanding. This is after the first good few minutes of wet sanding, and we've got rid of most of the oxidation. There's still some really deep right here that I'm going to try to work on, but I think that's really deep into the lens, and I don't want to take too much off. You can still see where there's still some high spots in the oxidation. I can feel it, so I'm going to go over it again real quick. But I've wiped it all back off, and as you can see, it's a really dull look right now. But not to be worried, that's what we have the rubbing compound and the polish for. So I'm going to wet sand a little bit more along the curve right here, and I'm going to work on this side a little bit more, try to get some of that oxidation off. But when we cut back, we're going to be buffing some of this on there. So what we're going to do is put a very liberal amount of rubbing compound on here, like this, and we're going to knead it in with small circles until it's mostly disappeared. You can already see the lens clearing back up. Now, that, I'm still going to work on that a little bit more, but just so you can see the difference that it's already made in the light. That's now, and that's before. So you can already see how much clearer the light is. So I'm going to put a little bit more rubbing compound on here and buff on here a little bit more. And then we're going to chamois that and buff off as much as we can of that. And then we're going to come back to this. So we just put a little dollop on our clean cloth, and we're going to apply this in the same way that we did the rubbing compound. I'm getting too old for this stuff. I'm just going to buff that in the headlight. There. And we're going to let that dry for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to buff it off with our polishing rag, and so you can see the difference. There. See how foggy that one is? And then, look at that. absolutely makes the car look new. So, while I'm letting that dry, I'm gonna do this one right here. And here it is. It's after the final buff, and this one's still drying, but look at that. For 10-15 bucks for the supplies, and you can do this for probably a dozen or so cars. I think that just makes the whole car look that much better. Looks like a new set of headlights on the front. A real quick and easy way to freshen up the look of your car.
Behind me you'll see a car.